Alright, what's going on, guys? It is your boy TKD1 here, back in PlayStation Source. And of course, if you guys are not aware, if you guys missed Saturday's upload, we did discuss that yes, it is official. On Wednesday, September 16th, PlayStation 5 is doing a showcase. Not PlayStation 5 like the actual console. PlayStation, the company, is doing a showcase for a PlayStation 5 September 16th. And of course, we will be live streaming the event here on youtube.com/PlayStation Source. Make sure to stay subscribed, ring that notification bell so you don't miss the stream and our reactions, of course, with the usual panel. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we'll have Christian Buckley, of course, Jack Martin, and most likely, and I believe pretty much confirmed, the one co-host from Road to PS5. Of course, the Iraq Knight will be there on the live reactions. But I did want to kind of, gather all of the rumors, all of the talk, all of the word on the road, and all of what I think will be showed in terms of PS5 games at this showcase. Of course, hopefully, fingers crossed, they didn't say it on the blog post, but we got to get the price and release date and pre-order date, right? But beside that, they did confirm games will be shown at this event, and I wanted to just lay out the ones that I think are most likely, or ones that I just want to mention that some people really think are likely as well in their own right on today's upload. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, before we get into it, make sure to hit those links down below in the description, our Discord, our Twitter, our Anchor link. That way you cleanse the road to PS5 on your favorite podcast service, or of course right here on youtube.com/PlayStation Source by saying subscribed and ring that notification bell. But going into it, I think the one that's obviously a given here is a more extended and official gameplay look at Spiderman Miles Morales for the PS5. I'm pretty sure that one's a given. Obviously, that is being kind of, put onto a launch realm pedestal, or very much near launch. I think honestly it is a launch game. They haven't said it directly, but I really do feel like it is going to be a launch game. With them having the game releasing on holiday 2020, and so is the PS5, I really do think that they're just waiting for the PS5 to have a date as well. So I think it is a very, very solid bet that we will get Spider-Man gameplay at this event. That is good to hear. But another one here is from Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. Now, this was said to be coming out in 2021, so we do have another year to wait for this game. But we did have German Strands do a little tweet where he screenshotted at Julie11 Music, who is the main voice for the Horizon Zero Dawn 2 main theme. And so she says, hey, so incredibly excited for at PlayStation #PS5. So that could mean that we could get another look at Horizon Zero Dawn 2 running, maybe gameplay, or maybe just another trailer, who knows. But it looks like, if she's tweeting about it, and we will have a, overall theme going on with a bunch of people that keep referencing and keep, shouting out this PS5 showcase, that their games could be shown at this event. This is the first example. Let's keep moving. Of course, here, this one I very much want so bad, y'all. If y'all remember Last of Us Part 2, Naughty Dog came out and said, around, I think it was October of 2019, that hey, Factions multiplayer is not going to make it into Last of Us Part 2. They, have really, really big, ambitious plans for this mode and everything, and there is a chance that we could see it here at this event. Now, I'm not going to link to any leaks and stuff like that, but there have been leaked gameplay about Factions 2 that I've seen personally, it's clearly still being worked on. They are still hiring for like multiplayer infrastructure employees at Naughty Dog, so hopefully we get a look at this. I really, really want to see this, guys. I can't wait for Factions 2. Factions multiplayer is one of the best multiplayers in PlayStation IP, period, so Factions 2 would be greatly appreciated for this event. But going on to the more conversation of multiplayer, right? There's this whole thing about Guerrilla Games, right? So if you guys didn't know, January of this year, January 2020, there was a job listing for a game server engineer who will work on, quote, systems like matchmaking, tournaments, clans, and leaderboards. And they also previously, before that job listing, hired 2 different Ubisoft employees that worked on the Rainbow Six team. And one of them was a former employee of theirs as well and worked on Killzone. So they're very much familiar with the Killzone IP. So maybe, could just combining with them looking for a game server engineer right? And then couple that with them hiring 2 people from Rainbow Six, a very critically acclaimed tactical shooter, which is a very popular game in its own right, one of them being a former Killzone employee. This could mean that Guerrilla is shaping up for another multiplayer game. The rumor is that they are going to be taking up the helm of the SOCOM IP. We made a video about that a few years back. I would love that personally. I think that's a very, very neat idea. Let's bring this old IP, let's give it a fresh coat of paint, let's give it a brand new gameplay perspective, and let's see how it goes in the PS5 era, you know what I'm saying? But having a multiplayer centered around Killzone, I mean, I guess it could be interesting, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, Killzone is still a name and people still recognize Killzone. Probably a lot more of the new gamers this day and age probably recognize Killzone a little bit more than SOCOM, as SOCOM was more of a PS2, and there was of course the botched SOCOM release with the PS3 outage and the the PSN outage when that whole thing happened. So maybe, you know, it's a little bit more recognizable, who knows? But I think that this is very, very telling that Guerrilla Games is working on something multiplayer that is not directly connected to Horizon Zero Dawn, which we do think that Horizon Zero Dawn will get a cooperative mode, and then, you know, there's stuff like that. But I think there's another thing going on within the realms of Guerrilla that isn't just Horizon Zero Dawn. We will have to see. Maybe we'll see it. Maybe we won't. We will have to see. But next up here, let's break down this big one. This one was making the rounds on Twitter this weekend. Of course, Final Fantasy 16. Now, Final Fantasy 15 was the last in the mainline series. We just got Final Fantasy 7 Remake and stuff like that. I loved Final Fantasy 7 Remake. It was incredible. And now I'm definitely looking at the realm of Final Fantasy. Whenever they mention it, now my ears are a little bit perked up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Now that I've played Final Fantasy 7 Remake and the original Final Fantasy and loved those both dearly. And so we have a article here from Twisted Voxel, again linked below in the description. They essentially outline why they feel that Final Fantasy 16 might be at this event for PS5. They you know, long and short, I just got some bullet points from this whole article, again linked below in the description. They say that it was originally set to be announced back in June during the first PS5 reveal, but that got pushed back for, you know, reasons that could be COVID related, who knows what it could have been, but they got pushed back from the June event to another date. They say here that a Twitter account has also been made for Final Fantasy 16 that has been registered by an official Square Enix domain. So it looks like they're making some official Twitters that definitely are involving Final Fantasy 16, and you know, that's all ramping up. They also said that Hashimoto, who's a key figure for Final Fantasy within Square, retweeted the PlayStation Showcase tweet, and usually retweets if he's involved in such events and not just any event. So this gentleman allegedly only retweets and, like, you know, signal boosts different events that he will be a part of, and he seems to have a trend with that, you know, in a similar vein where we saw the Horizon Zero Dawn main theme singer also retweet and boost signal this. Maybe there could be some, you know, fire where that smoke is, you know what I'm saying? Like, since he has a track record, of course, with Hashimoto specifically on not retweeting just any, you know, random event that he's not a part of. Usually he's a part of the event if he retweets it. And lastly here, Imran Khan, of course, of Kinda Funny, shout to the Kinda Funny crew, much love to Imran. He recently said that it would be a good time to announce it here, and he's usually in the know. Now, this isn't really him saying, yes, 100% this is going to happen, but I feel like it's a little bit of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If he's saying that, hey, this would be a good time to do it, it seems like he may be kind of alluding to that possibly. Again, that's not confirmed. That's just him just talking, but he's usually in the know about these things. Now, next up here, we have some that are definitely far from confirmed, but we've heard a lot of talk about it. And the first one here I want to talk about is, of course, coming from Benji Sales. He's a very, very reputable insider that usually just looks at the sales of games and how it's looking from an economic standpoint, right? So Benji Sales put out a few tweets that I want to read out to you all, and to kind of just get your overall thoughts on it. So he starts here by saying, everyone is always theorizing which announcements platform holders could make to generate excitement and buzz, but we all know the sleeping beast that could cause an internet meltdown at any moment. Bloodborne 2. It's like this hidden play Sony always has up its sleeve it can use if it ever needs to slam the emergency button. I'm not sure why people are bringing up Demon Souls and Elden Ring. I'm not saying it's happening anytime soon. Sony could announce Bloodborne 2 10 years from now and it would still be a massive deal. It's one of the classics of this generation. So this one is definitely a wild card, right? Like, this one, I mean, as far as I'm aware, right, and I be, you know, looking on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd be scheming the old Twitter threads, you know what I'm saying, looking at all the insiders, you know what I'm saying. And I haven't heard anything about Bloodborne 2, at least as far as I'm aware. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's some serious sources out there that are saying Bloodborne 2 is a thing, but definitely Veggie Sales is not saying that here at all, just to be clear. But I do think it's an interesting proposition, and definitely I do agree with him that the internet would blow up if Bloodborne 2 was real, you know what I'm saying? And like, you all know me, I haven't really liked Bloodborne at all, you know what I'm saying? But I know a lot of people love Bloodborne, and it would cause a for real meltdown across the industry. Like, it would be insane, you know what I'm saying? So definitely, I think that is not really something that I'm anticipating, but I don't rule it out if we're looking at the entire PS5 era. Like, I do think that it's a very solid chance that a Bloodborne 2 would come to PS5 at some point during the entire generation of PS5, but who knows when will come out, and if we'll even see it on Wednesday. But one that I do think is a little bit more likely to show up on Wednesday is Silent Hills, right? Or Silent Hill, whichever the rumor is. I don't really know the mad difference between the two, but the Silent Hill IP being used for a new game for the PS5, I think this one is it definitely has a solid chance at showing up on Wednesday, just because there has been so much evidence to prove that something is going on, right? Like, there is so much smoke that there has to be a fire that we see on Wednesday or soon or whenever, you know what I'm saying? But like, I feel like if they are going to have a major surprise, which a lot of people are saying that there's going to be a huge major surprise, I think that this one could be it. You know what I'm saying? Like, confirming Silent Hills for PlayStation 5, a retelling of the story or lore or whatever, or like a reboot or even a continuation or whatever they want to call it. I think that having Silent Hills would be another massive thing to have for the PS5 portfolio early on in the generation. And I really think that this one has a very, very solid chance at being the major surprise on Wednesday, just because there's been so much talk about this game. There's been so much evidence, there's been so much smoke that there has to be fire. And the last thing here I want to talk about here, the real fire of what I'm about to say, God of War Ragnarok, right? This one, I'm putting very little stock. That's why I put it at the end of the video, at the end of my list, you know what I'm saying? Because I overall don't think that we will get a God of War Ragnarok trailer or something crazy like that. If anything, I put it at the same level as when we got the Uncharted announcement for PS4 when I think it was the day PS4 was coming out. I think it was like midnight it was coming out, and they announced it at like 6 p.m. prior to midnight of PS4 launching. They put out that Amy Hennig's Uncharted trailer for PS4, and it didn't even have the Uncharted 4 A Thief's End, all that naming and stuff like that. It was just Uncharted for PS4, you know what I'm saying? So I could see that maybe happening, like maybe like a little like concept trailer or something like that, or maybe like a very, very small tease, or maybe just a logo reveal. But I don't think we'll see anything crazy about that, and honestly, I don't really even think that we will see it. I mean, I would be crying if we actually saw it, but I don't think we're actually gonna see it. I think that they want to save it for a massive like year 1, year 2 into the PS5 generation type of announcement, like they did with showing God of War 2018, how they had a whole gameplay reveal and it was this crazy, insane, orchestra type deal. I think that's what they're gonna do for God of War Ragnarok, make it a big deal because it is a big deal. But I don't think that we will see it here, but maybe I guess there is a chance. But let me know, guys, most importantly down below, what do you think we will see on the PS5 showcase in terms of PS5 games? What are you guys' thoughts? Did I miss anything here that you wanted me to bring up? Did you want something else, or do you think that I'm wrong about anything? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and make sure also while you are down there to check out our description where you can find our Discord server, our Twitter, as well as our Anchor link. That way you can listen to long form content and podcast format. That, of course, being Road to PS5, the weekly PS5 podcast dedicated to any and all things PS5. This week, of course, we will be breaking down and going over the PS5 showcase that happens on Wednesday. We'll be breaking that all down, you know what I'm saying, talking about all the good stuff and giving you all the full rundown on the PS5 showcase. And if you want to show some support, you can become a King tier or a Prince tier on the channel as a member, $1 or $5 respectively. You get exclusive emotes and badges and different stuff like that, and you become one of the homies, just like Bashful Brody, Caleb Kaiser, and the homie Owen. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to PlayStation Stories to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Make sure to also hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, and definitely don't miss the stream on Wednesday for the PS5 Showcase reactions. Thank you all for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.